Good morning, Stampers. Welcome to Technique Tuesday. I'm Tina. Today's technique, I kind of incorporated. I'm getting ready for a big craft fair next week. Well, I guess it'll be this week, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So I've been making a lot of little holiday gift things, and I thought, well, you know what? Maybe I'll share one of those. So what we're going to make today is this cute little K-cup holder. And I used just a hot chocolate K-cup. And we've got this cute little snowman soup, which I will give you an extra image of. You'll see if you want to use this. But this little holder is just adorable for this. It holds two little K-cups. It can also be used if you make your friends coffee gifts. You put coffee K-cups. You could do anything with this. It's just, and you're going to be amazed how quick and simple this is. So what I've done is farther down on the post, you will see a PDF. And I've typed this up in a PDF for you. And what you can do is on page 1, I've added the Snowman Soup logo here. So if you print page 1 twice, you can just cut this little piece out and it fits. And we're just going to cut it out and we're going to put it on a 2 1/4 by 3 1/2 piece of white cardstock so that it'll fit perfectly on there, and it'll fit. I've made it so it'll fit perfectly on the box. So that way you have that PDF. And it'll have all the instructions. The Snowman Soup says, we've been told you were good this year. Always good to hear it. With the freezing weather drawing near, you'll need to warm your spirit. So here's a little snowman soup, complete with stir stick. It's sure to do the trick. Um, for the stir stick, we're going to use a little candy cane. So print your page 1 twice on the PDF and you'll have this. And what we're going to do, let's go ahead and start with that. So we're just going to cut it out. So I'm just going to wow, I feel like I'm under pressure to cut straight. Fussy cutting is not always my strong point. But this was the easiest way I could figure out how to give you this. If you wanted to use it, there's a lot of, if you go on Pinterest, there's a whole bunch of little snowman soup sayings, and you could create your own to put on there. I just thought this one was cute. And, you know, there's also many ways to do this K-Cup box. Like I said, this is just the way I found, and I thought it was super simple. I tried a couple different ones, but, you know, check it out there. There's a lot of things on Pinterest. And as always, with my tutorials, it's just one way of doing it. It's a way that I do it. It doesn't necessarily mean it's right. It just means this is what's worked for me. So there's my little disclaimer. Ta-da! Okay, now I'm going to just take this little, what did I do with our, see, I've already lost it. I cut a little part, I guess we'll find it. That little 2 1/4 by, we'll come across it. But anyway, I'm just going to glue or tape this onto that. Did you guys see where it went? Really? It's thrown on the floor. Okay, welcome to my world. It'll show up. So, what we want to do is I just used real red, and you need a full sheet. So, let's start with, you're going to hold it in portrait. Okay, when you say portrait on something, it means shorthand. And then this is landscape. So it's portrait, landscape. So on the portrait end, you're going to score it at 1 1/2 and at 7. And look, I've got the new cutter. Love If you guys, oh, you guys are just going to love this thing. I love this cutter. Beautiful. The only thing I've had to get used to is where the ruler is. You know, like they got the metrics up here and then the numbers here. So that's the only thing I've had to get used to. But as far as cutting and scoring, oh, I'm all about it. So I'm going to move my cutting blade and we're going to score it at 1.5. And we're going to also score it at 7 inches. Okay. Now we're going to turn it on the landscape, which is 90 degrees. Let's turn it on it. And let's score it at, we're going to score it at 1/2 inch. Now this is all going to be on the PDF. Okay. So let's score it at 1/2 inch. And then we're going to score it at 3 inches. And then we're going to score it at 4.5. And now we're going to score it at 7. See, I love how it holds your paper in place. So now we're going to score it at 7. Okay, there's all our score marks. And then what you want to do, in order to make it fold easier, it's kind of hard for you, but you'll see it on the diagrams here. I'm going to have a photo diagram of exactly where you want to trim it, and you're just trimming little triangles. And by doing that right on the score lines, when you do that, it just makes something that's being squared up, it makes it fold easier. So that's the only reason we're doing that. But we're going to take these 2 long areas out. I'm just cutting right on the score line. Take out the other one. And then what I mean by cutting triangles is here's your score marks. So my score marks right here. All I'm going to do is come over just a little bit, cut an angle right to the corner of where the score line is. I don't know if you guys can see that. And then I'm going to cut directly on the score line. And that gives you your little triangle. That's what that's meant by. You don't have to be, the only thing you have to be precise at is right where your cut meets the corner of your score mark. And then cut along your score line. There you go. Do that on both sides. My little piece didn't come out here. There we go. Okay, so now we've got our trims done. Now, you definitely want to have your bone folder whenever you're making, pretty much whenever you're making anything 3D, use your bone folder. It just makes your folds nice and crisp. Let's go through and fold all these. You also need now a 1 3/4 inch circle punch. I could not find my plain circle punch, so I'm going to improvise with a scalloped circle I have, but it works great. I tried to do it with like the circle dies. The problem is I couldn't figure out how to get this into my die machine to cut the circles we need right here, because this is wider than my platform. So what I did, this is the panel in which we want our 2 circles, okay? So my trick was, if this inside square is 5.5, then I'm just going to take a little pencil and mark about the halfway point. Just put a little dot there. And then I kind of know where my circles need to go. Now I'm going to bring in my 1 3/4 inch punch. And I found with my punch, I had to fold that. But I'm kind of just centering it in there. And I've got my little line that tells me where center is. And I'm going to punch my two holes. About, oops, it moved. About right there. Now we got our 2 holes. Okay. Those will make really something cute if you want to say them. Okay, now we're going to adhere our box. So we want to, this is how it's all going to go together. And I would advise using, if you have fast fuse and you're good at it, use your fast fuse. I'm not any good at my fast fuse, so I'm using tear and tape. I love my fast fuse. It really hates me. It'll start to work, and then no matter what I do, it gets all tangled up or stuck, and then it won't work, and I have to stop and untangle it. And love this stuff, but it just hates me. So we know we need this. Let's see, where else is our, so these fold inward. I guess I could go, okay, these fold inward like this, okay? And these are gonna fold inward. So we need tear and tape on these 2 tabs. On these 2, outside of these 2 tabs. And apparently my tear and tape's going to be mean to me today too. Okay, there we go. Okay, let's take off that. Apparently I'm having an adhesive fail day, because originally when I made this, I was using my tear and tape, or my fast fuse, and it hated me, and now my tear and tape's giving me grief. There's just those days. On the PDF, it shows you where to fold these, or how they fold. So, okay, so these 2 go inward. So you just square up your corners right here and fold them in. See? Square up that corner. Now these fold inward. So we're just going to square up that edge right there. That folds. Square up this edge and fold. And now these 2 fold to the outside. Okay? Or tear and tape. Oh, nice. I just stuck my tear and tape to my desk. So these 2 fold to the outside to give it an outside panel. Okay. I'm going to put 2 on those. I want them to stay closed. I seriously keep taping my tearing tape to the table. So we're going to add 2 there. And we're going to add 1 all the way across here. For the most part, this is a pretty simple box. And it's really cute. I wish I had that set. There's a stamp set in the holiday catalog that's got those little cups on it. That would be perfect for this if you have that set. I don't have it, but I thought, oh, wouldn't that be cute? Those little coffee cups, and decorate the top with it. I'm getting ready for this craft fair, so I was just trying to have a couple little cute items. So I'm going to go ahead and take this off on this one. There we go. Okay, so now these 2 panels, you just fold it straight and square them up on the sides. Just like that. And then this one just folds straight up. Just like that. And you have your little box. How cute is that? Okay, so now for the DSP, we'll go to the next page. And I've even given you the designer paper series measurements. You could use whatever you like, but what I'm using for this one is the wrapped in plaid. So let me find my little sheet of wrapped in plaid. Okay, I've lost our thing for our sign, and I've lost my wrapped in plaid. There's my wrapped in plaid. Okay, for your first DSP measurement, you need a 2 1/4 by 5 1/4. Okay, so let's do 2 1/4. By 5 1/4. You also need 1 1/4 by 5 1/4. So let's do 1 1/4. And then change these both to 5 1/4 because this is 6 by 6 DSP. So we need it 5 1/4. 5 1/4. And you need 2 1/4 by 1 1/4. You need 2 of them. So you need 2 1/4 by 1 1/4, and you need 2 of them. So let's cut 2 of these at 1 1/4. This new cutter has like a locking device, and sometimes I don't quite get it. I said 1 1/4, right? Yeah. There we go. So we've got our designer paper. And we still need to find the little piece that goes to our snowman sign. Well, we'll just cut one. I'm just going to cut one because apparently it has left the scene. We have a runner. And we have a runner. So let me grab a piece of scrap. And what did I say this was? This is 3 1/2 by 2 1/4. So let's cut a little 3.5 by 2.25 piece. Okay, we've got that. And we're just going to adhere our, I'm going to use tape for this because I think the glue will go through. If you use glue, it might show through your copy paper. So I'm just going to use tape. You could probably put your copy paper directly onto it, but I think it just comes out a little better reinforced. And now we will decorate our panels. Look, I am really having adhesive deals today. My glue doesn't even want to come out. Alrighty then. It's going to be one of those days. I'm really just really laughing right now because I've failed at all adhesives today. Put that one there. Okay, so I built my last month's paper pumpkin today, the one that has all the little Halloween treat boxes. Oh my gosh, you guys, they're so adorable. They're going to be a big hit at the craft fair. And I'm not really even a Halloween person, but boy, I had fun building those. Isn't this cute? And look how quick it is. Everybody loves hot chocolate or coffee. I'm a big coffee fan. I drink coffee most of the day. Probably why I never sleep. Okay, we've got those. We're going to take our little K-cups. Let's add our snowman guy. Well, I curled it a little. I'm going to add some adhesive. Maybe my glue is empty. This is really hilarious, you guys. Even my glue is failing. Maybe I should just resort to tape. But you know I'm a glue girl. There we go. And we're just going to put this little guy right in the middle here. Add our two little K-cups. How cute are those? And then I got a little candy cane. I'm just going to tie a bow on it. Look at that. How cute is that? Little bow. And you know what? We're going to go with glue dots. Let me grab glue dots. And let's put one here. Really, look at that. Even my glue dots won't stick to the candy cane. See, I told you guys I'm having adhesive problems today. So I'm just going to glue his right on top of there. There you go. You've made snowman soup. How adorable is this little guy? All right, well, that was it. K-cup holder, and I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial. Have a happy stamping day. Bye-bye now.